Yo, what is up, guys? Hope you're having a great day. Today's video on the channel is going to be about the star powers and specifically what star power you should use for every brawler. Let's get right into the video. Okay, so the first star power we're going to talk about is Shelly. Shelly's got two star powers, Shell Shock and also Band-Aid. Band-Aid recently got nerfed, so it's not as good anymore. So I definitely recommend using Shell Shock. The 2 seconds of slow is really helpful to pick up the kill on them. Yeah, so Nita now. Nita's got two very good star powers, Hyper Bear and also Bear With Me. The Bear With Me is when it heals 500, like when you get a shot, like for your bear and also for you as well. Definitely recommend using Bear With Me in every game mode, apart from Heist, where Hyper Bear is going to be a little bit better, just to be able to get that damage on the save with the bear. Okay, so the next brawler is Colt. Colt has two star powers, one called Magnum Special and one called Slick Boots. And Slick Boots can give you a 10% speed boost, whereas Magnum Special is going to give you 11% bullet speed increase and also range increase. And I believe that if you're a good Colt, then the boots, the extra speed is definitely really helpful. But if you're not a very good Colt like me, then I'd recommend going with the Magnum Special, which is much better, I feel. Okay, so the next we're going to take a look at is Brawl. Brawl has got Tough Guy or Berserker. Tough Guy is great, it can be used in any single mode. But Heist is maybe where Berserker might be a little bit better. So yeah, I definitely recommend using Berserker and Heist and Tough Guy in every other mode. Okay, so Jesse's the next one we're going to take a look at. It's got two very good star powers, Energize and Shocky. Energize is going to allow you to heal your turret for 800 shot, hit on it. And Shocky is going to be where your turret is quite powerful, but you can't heal it, so like bounce off shots and shot projectiles a lot quicker. Not really too sure on this one, but I do believe that Shocky is very strong, and yeah, I feel like this is the better star power. Okay, so next we're going to take out is Brock. So obviously got the Incinerary, where it leaves 400 damage a second for 3 seconds on every shot, and also the Brock's 4th shot, which is also really strong. The 4th shot is definitely more versatile, so I would recommend using that in every game mode pretty much. But you could definitely use the other star power in Heist and Siege to get that extra damage on the turrets. Okay, so next we're going to take a look at is Dyna. Now Dyna, as you can see in the clip, is a lot of fun to play, especially if you use that Dyna jump. But I would recommend using Demolition if you're playing seriously. But if you want to have fun, definitely use Dyna jump. Yeah. Okay, let's move to the next brawler. Okay, so the next brawler we can take a look at is Bo. It's got two star powers. It's got the Vision, which is very helpful on a few maps like Snake Prairie, which is absolutely essential in, and also Snare Bear, which is the 2 seconds stun from the mines, which is very, very strong, especially in Siege. So I definitely recommend using Snare Bear on pretty much every map, every mode, apart from this certain few that I was saying, like Snake Prairie. Okay, so the next brawler we can take a look at is Tick. It's obviously it's pretty new into the game. It's got two star powers, one which allows you to reload quicker, and one which allows you to heal quicker. I'm not too sure which one's better. I like to use a heal one, but it is personal preference, so just pick whichever one you feel comfortable with. Okay, so the next brawler is going to be 8-bit. It's very new obviously into the game. It's got two very good star powers, one being where it respawns, which is incredibly strong in Showdown, so I definitely recommend using that star power there, and also the one where your turret gets extra range, like double extra range, which is incredibly important to have in 3 vs 3, so I definitely recommend using that star power there. Okay, so the first brawler we're taking a look at in this category is El Primo. It's got two star powers. One's called El Fugo, which gets 250 damage a second for 4 seconds on like anything it jumps on. The other one is going to be called Meteor Rush, where you get the extra speed, which is incredibly good. I definitely recommend using Meteor Rush, as the speed just helps you evade everyone and also catch up to targets a lot easier, which is very helpful. Okay, so the next brawler is Barley. It's got two star powers. It's got the one where it allows you to heal 100, actually 250 I believe it is, and one where it allows you to get 140 extra damage. I recommend using the extra damage one, which is called Extra Northwest, in Siege and Heist. So just allows you to get the extra damage on the Ike and also the safe. And in Gem and all the other modes, I recommend using the extra health, as it is just really beneficial. Okay, so the next brawler is Poker. As you can see in the gameplay, I'm using the second star power, which allows you to get 1000 damage onto any enemy you hit with your super. It's just really versatile. It allows you to get so much value with that super. and the first one is where you get 500 shots, like you hit an enemy for 500 with every, or you hit your teammates with 500 and it heals them 500. I don't believe the star power to be great because you kind of have to waste shots sometimes to heal your teammates, which you don't want to do in every scenario. Okay, so the last brawler of the super rare, of the rare category is going to be Rosa. So Rosa has got 2 star powers. The first one being like a healing in a bush of 200 a second, which is really helpful. I definitely recommend using this star power over Thorny Gloves, which allows you to get, I think it's an extra 100 or 200 damage whilst you are in super, which I don't believe is that helpful because you don't tend to get it all the time, but it definitely could be viable soon. Okay, let's move into the super rare brawlers. Okay, so moving into the super rares now. So we're going to start off with Rico. He's got extra bouncy and also the speed boost when he falls below 40% health. I recommend using the extra speed. It can be really helpful to get away from situations and just to juke people because they won't be able to kill you. But on some maps you are going to find that the extra bouncy is going to be a little more helpful. Okay, so Daryl, he's got steel hoops, which gives you that shield every time you roll. That is very helpful. And also you've got the extra rolling reload, so when you get the extra shot, so you get 3 extra ammo every time you roll. I believe that that could be okay in heist, but I recommend it's not quite there, and I think that the shield, so steel hoops, is going to be the better star power so far. Okay, and then we move into Penny. So we've got balls of fire, which is going to leave a little barley shot, which does 400 damage a second on the ground for every mortar shot, and you've also got last blast, which fires out like 6 mortars, like mortar shots after it dies. I recommend using last blast in siege and using balls of fire in every other game mode. Okay, so the last brawler of this category is Carl. As you can see in the gameplay, I'm actually using power throw as the star power. I prefer to use that personally, but protective pirouette is also a really viable star power. I would recommend using protective pirouette with Poco, as you can spin in and get healed by the Poco, and it's really helpful. Okay, let's move into the next category. Right, okay, so moving into the epics, we're going to start off with Piper. So Pipers are the ambush and also snappy sniping. So ambush being you get an extra 6 or 500 a shot now, I believe, in when you're sitting grass and you hit a shot with Piper. And you've also got snappy sniping, which you get is 0.4 of a shot every time you hit a shot, and this is going to be the best star power in pretty much every map, every mode. It's such a strong star power at the moment in the meta, yeah. So I definitely recommend using snappy sniping. Okay, so the next brawler is Pam. So you've always got Mama's Hug, which is the 440 heal whenever you hit someone, and also the Mama's Squeeze, which is going to be 500 damage a second for anyone sitting on a turret. I believe that is going to be the better star power, but they are quite interchangeable. I don't think any of the star powers are too strong, so I'm not really sure which is the better one, but I prefer using Mama's Squeeze. Okay, now moving into Frank. Frank has got Power Grab and also Sponge. So Power Grab is where you get like an energy boost, like almost as if you picked up an energy drink. It's really helpful. You hit 2.5k damage every time with it, as you can see in the gameplay. I'm mounting people with it. It's definitely really helpful, and I recommend using that in every single game mode, every single map. But sponges definitely could be viable on some, but it's just personal preference again, so which one you prefer. Okay, let's move to the last brawler, which is BB. Batting stance recently got a buff, which made it quite viable, but I haven't really tried it out yet. I know Home Run has been used by everyone before, and it's a great star power. I'd recommend using Home Run in Siege, definitely, because you need to be able to get that first bolt, and that speed just enables you to do that. But also batting stance could be viable now in things like Brawl Ball and Gem Grab, because it allows you to go in there and pick up gems and also walk the ball in, and you have that 40% damage reduction, so that's going to be really helpful to do that. Okay, let's move into the Mythics. Okay, so we're going to start with Mortis here. Mortis has got 2 star powers, Creepy Harvest and also Cold Snake. Cold Snake's going to give you that extra length on the first dash, but you do have to charge it up for quite a while. And Creepy Harvest is going to be, you get around 1.2k for every kill you get on someone. Definitely recommend using Cold Snake, even though it was nerfed, it's still very strong, and it's definitely much better than the other star power. Okay, let's move to Tara. As you can see in the gameplay, I'm using Healing Shades rather than Black Portal. Healing Shades where Tara's pet turns and heals you for 400 seconds. It's definitely very good with the recent change that it heals only teammates that actually need healing, so that's made it better. Black Portal can be used on a few. It's a bit better now because obviously the pet is 3k HP, which is better than it was before. I still recommend using Healing Shade. That pet is just so strong, especially if it's behind you. Let's move to the last brawler, which is Jean. Recently got a rework to the star power. It's now called Spirit Slap. The second star power gives you 1.7k damage per shot when you have your supercharged. I definitely recommend using this star power. It's very strong. It lets you win the 1v1 matchup if you get pulled by a Jean, which can definitely be really important. And also the extra damage is definitely really helpful. The other star power, which is called Magic Puffs, gives you 200 healing a second, which is just not really great, and it's a bit insignificant, I think. Okay, let's move into the legendaries. Okay, so moving to the legendary brawlers, we're going to start off with Spike. Spike has got Fertilize, which allows you to heal 600 health a second while staying in his super. It's a very good super, but gets outshadowed a bit by Curveball, which just allows you to hit so many shots, because the curveball is just so hard to dodge. I definitely recommend using curveball. It's the better star power. Okay, next up is going to be Crow. Has extra toxic and also carry on Crow. Extra toxic allows you to well, your enemies will do 10% less damage when you hit them, which is a very helpful star power. I'd recommend using this star power, but I know the other star power is definitely viable. It's just that Crow's not great in the meta at the moment. So the other star power, Carry on Crow, means that you heal, that you do 100 more damage to enemies which are below 50%. Star power can definitely be viable. Let's move to the last legendary and the last brawler on the list, which is going to be Leon. So it has Smoke Trails, which allows you to move 24% faster when you use that super, which is definitely be very helpful and allows you to pick up the kills when sometimes you might be able to pick them up, and definitely get to people when you have your super. It can be very, very good in certain game modes like Brawl Ball, Gem Grab, and also Siege, how you get the Siege bolts. The other star power is called Invisi Heal, which allows you to heal 800 a second whilst in a super. It could definitely be very strong, but I just believe Leon's not great in the current meta, and therefore it's very personal preference to which one to use, but I prefer using Smoke Trails. Just that extra speed is so helpful. And that is going to wrap it up for the videos, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure to leave a like, subscribe, comment. I'll see you guys next time. Peace.